tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Good morning, Swarm, man. Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. You know I am. You know I'm here to do. I'm here to rock. Join me as always, Xavier Guerrero, Jay Nice, Johnny Woodard. How are you guys?
We're doing good.
We had just a long banger, huh? Banger. We go deep with one of the best out there. Holy Dammegård. Man, I mean, it breaks down symbolism, all that stuff. We learned about a new family, huh? A new power playing family, which I got super excited about. We're talking hard nipples here, people. Okay. It was a really great
When
episode.
he brought up Bitcoin, I watched your body. You like leaned forward to the thing. You look like you're about to jump off your seat.
Glass and just cutting it on my nipples. That's how hard it was. That's how excited I was. This is a great episode. You guys will enjoy it. Guys, come see me live. Come see me live. Just go to samtripoli.com. Grab tickets you can grab tickets there. I'm in New Jersey, Morris Plains, New Jersey, Dojo of Comedy, July 15th and 16th. Then July 20th at the world famous Comedy Store. It is, July 20th is Comedy Chaos, Craig Robinson, Christina Pajinski, Orny Adams, Ryan Sickler, and we're going to be adding more as we go. I have feelers out to a couple more people. Hopefully we'll be able to do 2 shows. So grab your tickets now. Then August 5th and August 6th, I am at Cobb's in San Francisco. Grab your tickets now. Got a ton of great premium content for you. All you have to do is go to rockfin.com for most of it. Tinfoil Hat, premium content, Zero premium content, and Conspiracy Social Club. That's some great stuff. I also have a financial premium content. Go to patreon.com/cashdaddies and you can grab, dude, Howie Dewey is nailing these stock picks. We're talking 40 to 60% fucking profits this last week. Johnny, that's true, right?
Oh yeah, he's killing it. Yeah, absolutely. On that one call that he put out there, people were pulling 40 to 70%. I mean, Chris slept in and didn't close his out in time and ended up profiting 70% on it. So yeah, and I think Chris said he's 18 for 18, something like that on his pick so far, which is unheard of. I mean, it's going to cool
unheard
off.
of.
Amazing.
And for $10, you can profit like that?
No, well, I mean, you buy for $20 a month. You get his picks, so you just follow his picks.
I've never seen so many people sign up so quickly for a Patreon either, especially one like for a podcast like Cash Daddies. It's amazing.
Straight cash, homie. Guys, if you want to support the show, great way to do is buy t-shirts at tinfoilhattshirts.com. Or you just go to samtripoli.com. I got a couple new t-shirts about to be uploaded. Then I'm doing cameos. Bring the cameos, bro. Anything. I go hard in the paint. Want me to talk your girlfriend up about her new job? You want me to propose for you? You want me to watch you guys make love? I'll do any of it. That's what I do. That's how I roll. And I'm very excited to be working with Wise Wolf. If you're looking for gold and silver in these crazy times, and you know I'm all about that action, just click the banner at samtripoli.com and it will take you right there. I bought a good chunk of silver from him. Came looking nice, dude, real nice. So go buy it right now. The Tinfoil Hat Telegram is on fire, and the Zero Telegram, my spiritual podcast. Go check them out. We're almost up to 4,000 people on that, so I'm super excited about that. We also have a ton of free audio for you. Tinfoil Hat, Broken Sim, Cash Daddies, Punch Drunk Sports. Union of the Unwanted, which if you love this show, you'll love the Union of the Unwanted. And then from my premium content, I put out some old episodes of Conspiracy Social Club and Zero. So go check that out. Do you guys have anything you want to push?
On the last episode of We Don't Smoke the Same, called We Don't Scumbag the Same, it was our homie that got stabbed in LA in the bus. Crazy story. So if you don't believe LA is wild, come check this out. Midday it happened. So check it out.
We Don't Smoke the Same.
Yeah.
And Johnny?
Yeah, new Broken Sim just dropped. Check it out. It's good. It's a good one. We like it. And there's going to be another one coming out this weekend. We've been working hard.
Ole Dammegård goes for the Crushmore. I know I said in the last episode.
He sure does.
He goes for a Crushmore. He's making a stake to be on the mountain. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Enjoy this interview.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the
Okay, man. We've had nothing but great guests this week. So let's finish it off strong. He's one of my favorite people to talk to. He goes deep with his research. His website's called Light on Conspiracies or Dammegård.com. Please welcome one of my favorites to talk to, Ole Dammegård. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm a bit naked. There's so much craziness going on.
Ole,
it's like that.
You go deep. They have to be trying to constantly just mess with your internet all the time.
The internet, that's one thing, but I have unfortunately friends that died, and also very close people that almost was taken out. So it's like it's getting intense, really intense. So well, there you go.
Oh my God, I'm sorry for your loss. That's insane, man.
That's
crazy times. We are in a spiritual war.
We are, and a physical war as well. So it's like on many different levels at the same time. And also, I think technical war as well, because it's ridiculous, the amount of technical issues. I was sitting here with 2 computers, but 5 different keyboards the other day, trying to get it work on the websites have been crashed. But this is the thing I like about myself and my sweetheart Kim, is like every time they hit us, we come back stronger. And so our website was shut down or messed with, and then I spent 5 weeks totally revamping it, so it's better than ever. I hope. I'm really proud of this one. So, but,
congrats on the revamping of it. That sucks that you have to do that. It sucks that we have to fight so hard to get this out. But I think people like you only appear on shows like this, and I learned about you from Higher Side Chats, and when you do these shows, you get you definitely get amplified, and people are listening. And I personally think that, again, I always say I think we're starting to win this spiritual war, but we'll see. So I know, Ole, we only have you for a short time, so
no, I've expanded. However long you want to go, let's do it.
All right, perfect. So let's get into it. Where do you want to start, Ole?
I want to start with the level of ridiculousness it's come to. My name has even been hijacked now. If you go Ole Dammegård, I'm the only one on this planet with this weird name. If you go oledammegård.com, check out where you come. It's a governmental legal site in El Paso, where it's like Ole Dammegård, the banner, and then it's a massive site underneath with government jobs and all of that. It's like it's getting really bizarre. But anyway, indirectly, it's some kind of
what's that called, Johnny? Forwarding, or what's that when they do that? They take a website and they.
Well, if you're domain forwarding or mask,
something like
that.
No. It's not forwarding.
But I think he's saying they just parked on that domain, like they've taken it over.
No, I didn't. I owned it a few years ago, and then I let it go. And now, if you check it out now, then the top banner, it says Ole Dammegård. Wow. But it's like there's nothing about me except for the banner, and then there's this website where there's this woman that is posting like hundreds and check it out there. Ole Dammegård, law and legal, law firm, politics, whatever. And there's this one woman or a female, this Katie R. Ochoa, that is posting everything. I can't find anything about her at all. I don't think it's a real person even. So it's like, but check it out. It's a massive website with my name and it's like,
I wonder if it's one of these AI generated pages.
Yeah.
You hear about these pages that are generated by AI.
This might be part of the dead internet.
Whatever.
Like in a weird way.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting articles they're posting too, because they're so anti what you talk. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not interested in the USFL.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so weird because it's like there's nothing about me on the website, but it is my name and it's my domain name. It's my whatever. I'm just showing how. Also, this is excellent now when we have a screen share here. If I can please ask you to go to Google Maps.
Okay. Maps. Yeah, sure.
And I'm just going to show how they're doing it because I think we spoke in some of the other shows about how they leave clues about upcoming attacks, or they leave clues for us to see that they are actually behind it. So in 2005. Okay, you write U Street, H-U-G-H, U Street 25 or 25 U Street, Pimlico, London. Pimlico, London. Yeah, click on that one. Okay, so please wait there. So in 2005, there was a series of mass attacks in London called the 7/7 bombings on the 7th of July. I mean, that's almost today. Anyway, so among that, what happened there, that they had a drill with some 1,600 people involved in that drill with the exact scenario of what then went live. And the guy that was leading this whole thing, his name was Peter Power. And he had a company called Visor Consultants that were there performing this whole drill because they said they were protecting some Jewish bankers. He was on BBC talking about it big time. And then this whole thing went live with the exact targets of the drill, 4 different subway stations and the blowing up of a bus. And the guy in the BBC News said, I mean, that's incredible, the coincidence. And Peter Power just smiles and said, yeah, I mean, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this Peter Power is somebody that I've been tracking down for years. And the address of this company, Visor Consultants, was 25 U Street, London. Okay, so click on the image there up on the top. Yeah, that one. Click on that one, and then you see a sort of like an anonymous type of door. That's where the company is.
Oh my God! What does that say right there?
Zoom in.
That is crazy with some weird Bigfoot dude next to it. That is crazy, Oli.
I know.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
But this is how they do it. They're telling us, but you have to find it. I mean, it's only because I'm such a super geek that, like who would have seen this? Have you ever seen anything like this before? But that is what they do. So
for those who are listening on audio, what Oli found was there was it was like a British apartment, like you just think about when you see buildings in Britain, in London,
like a brownstone in New York is what you compare it to.
And next to, I believe, the second floor window is a red box, and on the red box it says CIA on it. So, like, unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
And with a guy, sort of an icon of a guy running away or hiding, sort of like a Simon Templar type of style. So, well, I'm telling you, this is a blessing because they are telling us, they're showing it to us. And this is, I think I mentioned it in another program. I was contacted by a guy from the inside of these Black Ops who said that they're actually doing this on purpose. They're leaving clues in the forensic evidence for us to see, but they're hiding it. But it's because they're afraid, very, very afraid of the law of karma. What you do comes back to you. And the way they interpret that law is that if they show us, even in subtle ways, what they're going to do, we don't react, then we indirectly consent, and then the bad karma is on our shoulders. So this is what they do. It's in their absolute selfish interest to show us that they're actually going to hit it. So this is how my name became a verb, because up to date, I predicted and connected on international radio up to 2 months before they happened 65 of these alleged mass shootings. So hashtag Dammegård or hashtag Dammegårding is to find the clues and then point it out. And this is what I'm going to do today as well. Point out where is it going to happen? Because if we can find these clues that are there, even though in subtle ways, if we can find them and then get it out to as many as possible, then we can indirectly and hopefully stop this madness from continuing. Because there are always security drills involved, or rehearsals, as I call them, where they go through everything and so. And these have to be publicly. Like we're going to have a security drill for your protection on the 7th of July or whatever kind of crap. And so if we know it, if we follow them and we go there with cameras and we just stand waiting for them, and then when they come, they're being filmed, they're being observed, that neutralizes them. They cannot move because they're always hiding behind the screen curtains, pulling the strings without us understanding it. But if we aim the spotlight right at them, like on conspiracies, boom, that's how you neutralize them.
All right, guys, we got some exciting news. Listen, my favorite blue light glasses company, Blue Blocks, has rebranded. This is super exciting news. Blue Blocks is now called Bond Charge.
Bond Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bond Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern day world. Their extensive range of premium wellness products help you sleep better, perform better, have more energy, recover faster, balance hormones, reduce inflammation. The list is endless, from blue light glasses to EMF management and circadian friendly lighting. Bond Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern day way of life effortlessly and with maximum impact.
Okay, some of my favorite products from Bond Charge are their anti-radiation EMF protection products, like their EMF protection ear tubes, earphones, all right? It protects your ears from EMF, ELF, and RF emitted from your cell phones. EMF protection laptop mats, okay? EMF harmonizing stickers, okay? Which neutralizes the positive ion radiations emitted from your cell phone, which can damage your cellular health. EMF protection blankets. I love all this stuff. Protect your whole body from 5G, Wi-Fi, and EMFs at home, at work. I'm getting all this, okay? EMF protection hats and beanies. Count me in, dude. I'm in on all of this, okay? They got so much stuff. It's unbelievable, okay? Designed in Australia, science-backed technology that has been lab tested, available on their YouTube channel, guaranteed up to 99% EMF blocking technology. Come on now. It's a premium brand, but it's worth the investment, okay? Because other brands don't work and you'll be just wasting your money. It's just a waste of money, guys.
And this is your health. You don't want to fool around with that. Get cheap stuff. You want the best there is.
So basically, guys, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to do this. Go to bondcharge.com/tinfoil and use the coupon code tinfoil to save 20%. That's BONCHARGE.com/tinfoil and use the coupon code tinfoil to save 20%. I'm going to do it. Hey guys, I want to tell you about our friends at Lucy. That's right. Look, we're all adults here, and I know some of us choose to use nicotine to relax, focus, or just unwind after a long day. Lucy is a modern oral nicotine company that makes nicotine gum, lozenges, okay, and pouches for adults who are looking for the best, most responsible way to consume their nicotine. Why not switch to a nicotine product that you can feel good about? Listen, we all have friends who smoke, okay? I have a friend. Her name is Dana. She smokes, okay? But you know what? Now that I've told her about Lucy, she enjoys an alternative way of enjoying nicotine. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So if you enjoy using nicotine, you should definitely check out Lucy products at lucy.co. That's lucy.co and use the promo code tinfoil at checkout. Okay. I also have to read this disclaimer. Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is addictive. Remember, if you're interested in a better way to use nicotine, visit lucy.co and make sure to use the promo code tinfoil. This is a huge topic on the show. Sigil magic, occult. They give us clues for karma reason. It's also somewhat a little bit of bragging as well, letting the other people know what they're getting into. And a lot of people don't want to come to grips with this. A lot of people don't want to believe that the people who are the law enforcement and the people whose job it is to protect us could be open-minded to this. But I mean, if we take a look at, almost everything in our pop culture, in our history, has turned out to be somewhat controlled opposition in one way or another, and to manipulate our energy and in reality, like manifest us into begging for them to save us. And when they can't get us to do that, they can't complete that mission at that moment. We've seen it happen a couple times. But yeah, we go back to all of these high impact events. There's always some weird kind of simulation going on before where they're running and testing everything. And but in reality is, and I think Oli, this might be something I've heard you say before, but in reality, this is where they're getting most of the footage from, when they need the footage of craziness going down and all that stuff.
It's the drill. It's like they need to get in position with vehicles, crisis actors, management, anything from mobile toilets to catering to makeup, everything like that, without us understanding what's going on. So how do they do that? They say, we're going to have an active shooter drill. We're going to have a security drill so that they can clear the area, so that they will say, thank you so much to dear Mr. Johnson. Please leave this area because we are doing it for your protection. Bugger off, get away. And so they control the area. And when you see where these alleged attacks happen, there are very often secluded areas or areas that are very easy to secure, like a shopping mall, like a subway station, like a train wagon, like one, or you got an airport, part of an airport, or you got like a bus terminal, or whatever it is, or schools. Of course, I forgot schools. Schools are perfect. Anything from the outside will not be seen. Anything from the inside will not be seen from the outside. And nowadays, because so many of these schools are being, built according to the norms of Agenda 21, you have exactly they are constructed identically, more or less, as prisons. So you will have the exact same setup, and they can very easily be transformed into prisons as well. This also goes for some supermarkets and some hospitals as well. They're built exactly according to the same, and not a coincidence if I'm correct. But anyway, if you want to,
Oli, do you believe in nonlinear warfare? Do you think that basically, it's an old Russian KGB, Russian government thing where basically they put out information on both sides to fuel both sides. So they have this argument and everybody's crying. And a great example for this would be after the Parkland shooting, they had on ABC News, they had a teacher talking about how she saw a police officer in all, I would say, like riot gear shooting at students. And if you've done any television at all, you would know that every single moment on television is completely and utterly controlled and micromanaged, from the original editor to the supervisor to the producer to the executive producer to sometimes all the way up to the head of the network. So the notion that just slipped by doesn't make any sense to me. But what it does do is divide and conquer. Now you have the conspiracy theorists, they can talk about this, and then you have the other side who refuses to see it, and the two never come together. Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's absolutely just another day at the office. I mean, that's how they do it. It's standard procedure. It's you have to understand that on the side of these dark forces, you have very great minds within psychology, psychiatry, and marketing agents. I mean, really skilled people in also product placement. They make a lot of money in these operations as well. So it's like, yeah, how do you do it? And also military strategists and people on a high level. I mean, they have the best people in these areas. CIA is just a part of it. That's just one part of it. There's so much behind it where we're up against this propaganda machine that are playing all tunes at the same time. So exactly like you say, yes, it's standard how to confuse us, how to make us look absolutely stupid or argue in between ourselves so that look at 9/11. We're still here. Was it the planes or was it not? Really, does it matter who was behind the operation? Wouldn't that be more interesting to look at? What have they been up to? They have not been lazy since the day the towers came down. And by the way, they were dustified. So how is that even possible? But when you see something like that being dustified, you know that if somebody says it's made by jet fuel and an aluminum body of an airplane, really, that takes NIST out of the way right away, saying that's absolute bullshit on steroids. I'm not going to spend another 2 seconds even listening or reading through 1,000 pages, whatever type of crap that is there to distract myself. And then 20 years later, was it or was it not? Who cares? The people who are behind it have since then carried out multiple wars against innocent countries that are totally destroying the world, are killing millions of people. And you're still standing there saying,
I agree.
I just want to say my daughter was 4 years old. And one day she came in, I was sitting being an adult very seriously looking at Twin Tower building collapses. She came in, she was naked, she was running around playing. She said, "Dad, what are you doing?" I said, "Okay." So I told her the official story. "Okay, sweetheart, there were 2 planes that flew in and boom, and these buildings that was bigger than anything you've ever seen in your whole life came down like that." She looked at me, she said, "Dad, I'm a child, I'm not stupid. Why are you lying to me?" 4 years old, that's a mind that is a mind that has not been messed with yet. She saw it right away, and then she took off running. I thought, oh my God, here we have professors and all of these people, well indoctrinated, I would call it, instead of educated, that are still after all of these years saying, "No, that's a conspiracy theory." I mean, if these, okay, I'll take a Coca-Cola can, empty it, fill it with jet fuel, turn it on fire, throw it up against an armored wall, concrete armored wall. If it gets dustified by that, I will believe it. If not, then all we're being told is absolute and 100% lies. So why even listen and see what are they up to now? So let's go on, because these are the same forces then as now. They've been going on for a long, long time. And so I would like to take you on a little tour. You have to understand that what I'm talking about are not isolated incidents. If I'm correct, I put 40 years of my life on the line here saying, I do not say these things easily, but this is what I've learned over the years. So just like if you have what you think is a spot on your arm, do you think it's better to have somebody with 40 years experience to look at it and say, yes, it's cancer, or no, it's cancer? Or do you want to go to an amateur Google doctor who's sitting Googling stuff like that? Who would you trust the most? So please give me some slack, and just hear me out.
All right.
So,
no problem.
So what I would suggest is what we're looking at right now, it's a global attempt of overtake. of everything. We're looking at the World Economic Forum, the Agenda 21, the fourth industrial revolution. They're not hiding it. The New World Order agenda, it's not in hiding. This is what they want to do. They want to take over and they want to control everything. Agenda 21, read it through. It's very easy. There's even on YouTube, Agenda 21 for Dummies. If you can't be bothered more than 5 minutes of your life, check it out. They want to control everything. So how are they doing it? They're doing it with a silent war, I would say. We're in silent World War III. There are no bombs exploding. But we are under heavy attack from all directions. Everything. And it's coming in via media. It's through media that they get to us, and they get to our subconscious. They're really hitting our subconscious as well, because they need us in fear mode at all times. Fear. That's where they can reach us. If we're standing up like sovereign individuals saying, fuck off, I'm not going to listen to you. You've been lying to me for my whole life. I mean, I have so many proofs that you are not being truthful to me. Why would I listen? I would go look for the truth somewhere else, because the truth will set us free. Whatever the truth is can be very painful to see and experience. It is still liberating. It is still healing. Once the truth get out there, it will heal. So that's what I try to do. Just pull the curtains. However dangerously it is, or horrible or painful, let's see what actually went down. So we have the attack on humanity, and on stage came COVID-19, whatever you want to call that operation. I mean, with all of these things, with needle, bioweapon of mass destruction, that's what they are. And so after 2 years of absolute no terror attacks, no mass shootings, no cars driving into crowds. I mean, unbelievable what that virus did when it came to terror attacks. It was the healer of all times. Incredible. No, absolutely not. There were no need for it, because the level of fear was up there through this invisible virus that they kept changing names for: COVID, Corona, SARS-2, whatever, monkeypox, moneypox. The K is silent, by the way, so it's moneypox. I mean, the Delta, this vial, that vial, hit all the time with a purpose. Jab yourself. But now, when millions of people are starting to say, listen, how many sports individuals are supposed to drop dead in the high life of their life, the top, they drop dead. I've been taking like 18 boosters and I'm still not protected. Is there any purpose to it? The answer is, if you go to the official sites and the official sources, no, it doesn't protect. No, it doesn't do. It does fuck all. Sorry about my French. It does.
We love your French.
Okay, so fuck off again. Le fuck off.
That's my favorite French thing of all time, I think. Which is,
fuck off. Anyway, so we have this whole thing about the COVID not working anymore, because people are saying, fuck off. I'm not doing it anymore. I am not doing it anymore. It's just silly. It doesn't have any purpose. So what do they need to do? Because that has been a fantastic diversion for these global overtakers for 2 years. They've been having us focusing in that area while doing an IQ test, because it indirectly, their words have been an IQ test as well. Who is stupid enough to inject themselves with something untested you see lots of people dying from it or whatever. Not very clever, but I'm still going to trust the government because they've always been loyal to me. Okay, you go right, the other one go left. So it's been like an IQ test dividing humanity like that. While that has been going on, no attacks, no shootings, no nothing, no whatever. And then now we're at a location in history or time in history where people are saying, I'm not scared anymore. It's becoming a joke. I'm not doing it. So in on stage again, let's get some fear. Come on down from the left. Fear. Okay, so what? Sorry, we've used Al Qaeda. That we upgraded the same crap to ISIS, ISIL, IS, Daesh. I mean, we can't keep renaming it because people are. It's just not working. We killed the same leader of ISIS 4 times. Donald Trump was the one with the 4th press conference saying we just managed to kill him. Good. El-Baghdadi, how many times? How many times? You killed him 4 times now. I mean, get your facts straight. So what are they going to do? They need to ramp it up again. So here we have the mass shootings. Here comes the mass shootings. So the mass shootings was really efficient. At least they tried before the corona whole crap, because they were really trying. Okay, the problem is not that people are not feeling well or being depressed because we fuck up the country. That's the French word again. And we mess everything up and we make everybody sort of depressed by just life itself, not letting them be free. So it's not that, it's the weapons, it's the AR-15s. These are the problems. So let's take away the weapon from the population. But during COVID, what happened? People said, oh my God, I'm going to arm myself again. So arms sales went woof like this. So they felt, oh shit, that really was a blowback right in our face. Not good, not good, not good. So they had to regroup. And what are they doing now? They're trying to get the weapon, but they changed the theme. So now the current theme is the Minority Report. Whatever happens, well, the FBI, we had him on our radar. We have been observing him for a long time. We've seen him being radicalized because he read Donald Duck in Arabic, so he's being radicalized. So, okay, so we've had him on our radar. But we, unfortunately, because we're such good people and we follow every single line of the law, we couldn't do anything. And now we have this pile of dead bodies over there. It's a real pity, isn't it? If you could just give us some kind of, so we can arrest people on suspicion alone, then you don't have these piles of dead bodies over there. That would be a solution, wouldn't it? That's the current theme. We've had him on our radar. He was radicalized, we saw that he was doing this. No, but we couldn't because, you cannot in a democracy, can you just kill people because they look weird? No, and I tell you, this whole thing about arrest on suspicion only, that for the 5 of us, or 4, is goodbye, farewell, Sam Tripoli. You made a joke about that. So, that's naughty. And Xavi, no. That kind of beard we cannot have. That's too much of a radicalized,
I didn't think about that, what that represents, about them constantly coming out saying, he was on our radar, but we couldn't do anything. People are going to start going, do something. Even I said that, like they should lock them down. But I was like, wow, man, I just kind of felt for maybe what there's the, the game that they put out front. And then there's the game that's really going on behind the scenes. And maybe there's even a game behind that is like what they really want.
I think I can tell you what and Ole, maybe this is where you're headed, but what I think they're getting to is this AI now. It just came out like 2 weeks ago. They have an AI now that can predict crime to something like 90% accuracy a week out is what they're saying. And they're going to try to roll this thing out and say, hey, it's pre-crime. It is the Minority Report. Yeah. If this is where they're heading, we're going to have some serious discussions ahead of us.
It is, of course, exactly where it's heading. And if you see, these experts have been interviewed on TV after many of these mass shootings saying, oh, look over there. Yet again, a lot of dead bodies. This is not good. So we have been developing this software and we're in this international group of scientists and we're almost there. We're testing it out on the Islamic groups like that. And when they say Allah Akbar or something like that, we hit them. Yes. And now we're connecting. Unfortunately, we have to connect these different computer systems, so that you can get the political, the religious, the Facebook, the Instagram, all of these connected, so that we can get a better, so that we can actually be more accurate in our way of pinpointing individuals we don't like and take them out.
Yeah,
That's it's where it's going. And then with AI, it's exactly that. And then they can say, well, sorry, we had a bug in the system. I'm very sorry. We didn't mean to kill him, but he's dead now. So anyway, problem solved. Let's go on to the next one.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but New York, if you want to conceal carry, you have to give them your social media info now.
Say again, please.
If you want to conceal carry in New York, you have to give them your social media info now. As in, like, they can go through your history and find out what type of person you are, and that's how they're going to figure out if you can conceal carry or not.
Okay, so this is an absolute joke, because Facebook is theirs, so they already have access to all of that. It has nothing to do with that. It's for you to hand over your freedom, hand over your, like, you can be arrested in some countries if you don't give them the Facebook login. It's like, you can read on my page. It's actually published there. So what is the big thing? No, give it to us or you will be contained or detained or whatever. It's absolute, once again, fuck off. Bullshit.
Right. Guys, I want to tell you about our friends at Blue Chew. That's right. American boners for American men, for American ladies, unless you're into American guys. And then you can do whatever you want. And guys, it is time to bring the summer heat to the bedroom. Hammer of the gods, okay? The temperatures aren't the only things rising in the summer, okay? Guys, Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable tablet for a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you don't need to plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises, okay? You don't have to be like, oh, dude, I want a boner during the summer solstice, so I'm going to take it on this day when the sun is in the high house, okay? Just take it and prepare to rock, okay? It's just that simple. The process is easy, okay? Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, boom, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online, so you don't have to visit the doctor's office with the hot nurse. Now you gotta be like, yeah, I'm trying to get bigger boners. No, you don't have to embarrass yourself. No awkward conversations. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA. American boners for American men, for American ladies, okay? Blue Chew is the bomb. I love doing it all the time. This guy just flies around the country with his Blue Chew.
Yep, just here and there, everywhere.
Bam. Dude, this guy flies with rock hard all the time.
On the plane.
Because he never knows when it's time to join the Mile High Club.
They never want to search
You don't want to
me.
be sitting next to him. He's got to get up for the bathroom. You better go ass toward me. And
He
not,
can't even, dude, his Blue Chew's so strong, he can't even lower his
tray table.
His tray table. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, we love it. You love it. Yo. So if you could use some extra benefits in the bedroom when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help. And with a special deal for our listeners, try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code TINFOIL at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code TINFOIL to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. So, Oli, we're also taking a look at where these targets are. All these to me, the surest sign of something being a false flag or a conspiracy is, you can always tell it's a conspiracy because the powerful always end up with more money, more power every time. It never goes the other way. And then with these shootings, they're never at a place where we all be like, listen, that sucks, but I hate those people. Like the Westboro Baptist Church. You never see them go shooting up that church that protests people's funerals, right? You never see them show up at places where people think it would be super negative. It's always emotional places like schools, churches, houses, places where if you take a look at the Vegas shooting, right? What they shoot up, they shot up a country music festival. Who is the most adamant Second Amendment people? White conservatives who probably love country music, right? I mean, it's like everything is done for emotional reasons.
It's exactly like that. And it's women and children. I mean, sorry, Sam, people like you and me, they don't work really. But now they've started to change it, like now they're gay people, I don't know about you, I'm not gay, but anyway, the people that are getting killed at gay clubs are like in their mid-60s, looking very much like military people, it's like, what? But no. But anyway, so yeah, it's emotional, and they got the different themes going on. At the moment, you got the pride thing, the that whole transsexual. We're back to it's the same. It's just different ways that they mess you up and confuse. And I mean, when I grew up, you had to tell. I mean, my dad told me about what was the bees and the what do you call it? The
birds and the bees.
The birds and the bees. Yeah, these were the two ones that you had to be informed about. Now there's like 64 different ones, and the birds and the birds and the bees and the bees. And
but even that is done purposefully.
I know.
Think about that because we've been told how special trans are, that they're unicorns, and now the last two major shootings, the kid in at the school and the kid in Chicago right now, both trans. The kid in Chicago was dressed in women's clothes when he did it. So like this is done so you don't know if you're coming or going. So, hey, man, you had the left going, hey, you don't have body autonomy. You have to get the vaccine. Well, now they just said they kicked down the states' rights. And some states are like, you don't have the right to abort your child. But I have the right to my body. Hold on. You just told everybody that they didn't have the right to choose what they do with their body with the vaccine. That is done purposefully. So no one knows if they're coming or going.
This is exactly it. Confusion is the name of the game. Confuse, take away your security, your inner balance, your knowing of yourself, your inner strength. Take away all of that. Confuse. It's like my daughter. When I'm talking about because she's very open to like 67 different genders, because that is natural for her generation. And I say, but listen, it's done. There's an agenda behind it that is not very nice. I don't care if you, whatever you are, if you fancy like wallpaper, that's up to you. It's not my liking, but if you want to hump a wall, go for it. But here we're talking about a totally different agenda that is there to destroy cultures, nationalities, races, everything that is good for you will be destroyed. If they succeed, everything that is bad for you will be pushed on you. So we have to understand what is going on. I would say, please raise your vision to a helicopter view instead of standing in Buffalo looking at that shooting, or Uvalde and looking at that shooting, or Toronto and looking at that van attack. Or you have to come above that and see what the hell is going on. And it's when you start seeing that there's a NATO operation behind it. NATO and the different intelligence agencies are the tools. Also, Gladio, the ghost army of NATO, are the tools for these things that are being carried out. These are not separate things. They are working in coordination. Once you see that, you will see that it starts making sense. And also how they point out, it's pinpointed to the next one, to the next one, to the next one.
I was about to say the last shooter, he was actually 22 years old. And what a coincidence. Yeah, what a coincidence that we were arguing to age the limit to 21 and this kid's 22.
Super interesting.
Yeah, what a coincidence that it became 1 year older, as in like, hey, why don't we just go to not have guns?
Yeah, I mean, and then the red flag laws, now they got all those. They're like, still, guy got the gun. That's all being done to be like, take our weapon. Like, again, the left with the left not knowing if they're coming or going. They burnt down the city because cops shot unarmed, or white guys or cops shot unarmed black men. And then they're like, we can't allow this violence happen from the government, blah, blah, blah. And then they just turn around. They're like, the government should be the only one who has guns. And it's just like, they don't know if they're coming or they're going. And that's being done purposefully.
On purpose. It's on purpose. And I would strongly, strongly, strongly suggest that many of these violent incidents are staged. Many of these alleged murders, mass shootings, drive-by shootings, rapes, whatever, once you start really looking into every single case on its own, you'll see, oh my God, because they know that only geeks like this one will take the time to spend 1,000 hours digging into that one and the next one and the next one and the next one. Because most of us are like, oh my God, and that's how they do it. They smack you from the right, they smack you from the left. It's up like being up against Mike Tyson. You can't see, it's like, you're like this, and that's how they want you. So they don't have to back it with facts. They don't have to back it with
emotional.
Here comes the recycling of also crisis actors, like in the Uvalde shooting. We had Vicky Soto coming back from the dead. She was killed in Sandy Hook years ago. Here she is as one of the teachers. It's amazing. They even show images of her of the time that she was the victim of Sandy Hook next to a photo of herself at her current age. They show it side by side. I mean, it's in our face. Okay, so anyway,
real quick, Oli. I just want to say there's also another sign that things are false flagged and done to cause chaos through the deep state or whoever is. When the government takes instant action, there's a really good chance that this has been all planned. I mean, we see the government takes forever to move on stuff. It never ever gets anything done quickly. But like Trudeau in Canada, or that big tooth woman, the horse tooth woman in New Zealand, who like an instant something has boom, guns are gone. Like overnight, it happens like that. It's kind of like with cancel culture. You'll have one account complain about something on Twitter, then all the corporations drop the hammer instantly because they don't want anyone to be able to think about whether they actually think there should be a severe response. It's meant to show that there's action happening, drama going on, trauma happening, and they don't want you to think. So the corporations and the governments act instantly to make it seem like there's something big going on. In reality, it's all astroturfed and artificial.
Spot on. And I like that you said corporations and governments, because that is the correct order. If people think it's like that, it's not. It's like this. And then above that are different layers as well. So it's just like you say, if you want to build like a dog, what do you call it? Like a little house for your dog, that takes like 6 hours for you to get, or 6 weeks to get building permission to move it maybe 2 inches to the right. But in these cases, like something happened and suddenly they have a 1,200 page proposal. Everything is ready to be like hammered through in the court and made into a law, like the Homeland Security or Patriot Act. Everything was prepared for 9/11. It would have taken years, and boom, it happened. The terror attacks in Copenhagen, Denmark, the shooting there, overnight, everything was prepared, and they got the law through just within a week. How does that happen? It's very, very, very wise to check these things out. It's problem, reaction, solution. They have the solution there from day one. They just had to create some kind of problem that would give a strong enough reaction from us to say, oh my God, we need protection. And they will then say, well, the only way we can protect you, and in comes the solution. Something we would never, ever have accepted had it not been for the problem created by them. So this is where it's interesting, because then as soon as something happens, please watch the press conference. The people that step forward, the sheriffs, the people from the FBI standing, we stand united, or presidents or prime ministers, we stand united in the face of terror. We will not bend down for the fear of that. These are the people who did it. They are the ones who did it. Like the police force, the captain that is standing there saying this and this and that, he is in it. He's in it. He's not the brain behind it. These are low-level key players on a street level, but they are in it. They were the ones that carried it out. They're the ones controlling the crime scene. They're the one pointing out the patsy, if he even exists, because many times these are phantom identities that doesn't even, they're not real even. They're like three.
And they always have them instantly. Like there's literally a show in the States, Oli, called The First 48, because the law enforcement, if they don't solve it in 48 hours, it doesn't usually get solved. But yet these false flag attacks, they get solved in 20 minutes. Like it's done. Bam. They got the guy. He's got googly eyes. He doesn't know what's going on. He just happens to be right there after he committed this giant atrocities. He'll go to McDonald's, order food, then come back to the scene of the crime just to see what's going on. And it's just like, it's super crazy, man, how people aren't shocked at how quickly every one of these giant events are solved.
But the police always applaud themselves. You know, like in the Las Vegas shooting, it took them 72 hours to get up to floor 32, even though they knew it was on floor 32, the 32nd floor. It's 72 minutes to get up there. Still, they celebrate, oh, it was amazing police work. No, it was not. It was absolutely not. But here, I mean, what is general for all of these is that they will drop the passport or an ID or a driver's license. It's incredible, especially if you go on a suicide thing. If you're an ISIS, I mean, you have to have your black outfit, your balaclava, your Kalashnikov, your suicide bombs, the Quran, don't forget that, a big ISIS flag. And then, of course, even on a national flight, you have to bring your own passport, you know, so that it just falls out of a skyscraper. It's amazing. It is absolutely incredible. But then again, so if that's not enough, they also have different color codes and signals. I would very much like to go into them as well, because it's going to be fun for you to watch the news in the future. So at the moment, we have what is called George Soros' Purple Revolution. There's this color code that is pumped out. And I think this is, I'm not really 100% sure, but the CIA have used the color codes for many, many years. You have the green revolutions in North Africa. You had the pink revolution in, where was that? Georgia, I think. We had the orange or yellow in the Ukraine. You had these the color codes. But here, the last 3, 4, 5 years, it has been purple. In the US, purple. In Europe, it's mostly magenta, but these are quite close to each other. I don't know why they use a difference there, but these are the colors you have to look out for. So so what
you're saying is that, just to explain, so when you see like a press conference or anything like that, and the newscaster is wearing a purple jacket or a purple tie or a purple button or something like that, that's a good sign that this might be some controlled opposition stuff. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying this is one of hundreds. You have to not jump into conclusion, because purple, I love it. It's a beautiful color. I mean, it's a very spiritual color. I think that is maybe why they use it as well. I love it. But when you see it over and 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 over again, you have to say, wait a second. So it will be in the center of the images. It will be among images from the crime scene or whatever. Also understand, these are taken by professional photographers, mostly from Associated Press, Reuters, or Getty Images. These are not amateurs. So whatever photo is being published has been handpicked, even though it looks strange. Even look at this, like it will be handpicked. There will be a reason for it. So the photos I'm talking about will be, you scroll down, you scroll down, you scroll down, and there it is. Like 3/4 down the article, that's where it is. So it would be, it can be anything from a witness, eyewitness, part of the operation, the reporter, part of the operation, always. So it can be, for instance, the witness or somebody in the background standing with bright purple hair. It can be like a bright purple T-shirt that is printed with the slogan right before the people are even dead, like at the Charlotte car attack. I mean, people were in purple T-shirts with the slogan. Her famous last words were already printed in gold. I was like, how did they even do it? You know, like that's fast. That is fast. So anyway, so we have the color thing, and you will see also Black Lives Matters. These type of organizations will use these colors very strongly. Black Lives Matters. They do, indeed. Every life matters. Black Lives Matters. George Soros backed again. Please become aware of who's funding these organizations. That's where it comes. And then, so it will be on the grave. There will be right in the center of the image, a purple balloon or purple bouquet of flowers or purple this, or so it's the color codes. And also now with the Ukraine, the alleged war in Ukraine, that's another one for you. It will be the colors blue and yellow because that's the color of the flag of the Ukraine, also the flags of Sweden. Sweden is also under heavy attack at the moment. So there will be the purple when it happens. And then at the memorial service, there will be like a big blue and yellow cross or something like that inside the church, like you've never seen before. Be aware of these colors because it's just subconscious that they're affecting. And also, I think this is a wordless communication between the people in the know so that you don't have to send emails saying, we were the one carrying out that, we did that. Anyone in the know, just like me, will just scroll down, see, okay, boom, there it is. The color's there. Okay, got it. It's ours. No emails that can be hijacked, no phone calls that can be tapped. Silent communication. I think that is what is going on. And then we have something else, the shoes. Have we talked about the shoes before? I think we did.
We have, but I'm fine with talking about it again. I'd love to.
Okay. So over the years, I have, 40 years, and I've collected everything. I have what I call my oldest research vault. It's like almost 5 terabytes of perfectly organized evidence, photos, maps, documents, videos, everything that is now being deleted. I've got it, and I'm selling these hard drives as well, sending it out, because this is for generations to come as well. The internet is being scraped. Everything that is
100%.
It's really scary once you start understanding the how high a level of censorship. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so anyone who wants that, lightonconspiracies.com, contact me. I'll tell you how to get it. So anyway, over the years, I kept bumping into shoes that were left on crime scenes. And it was just like ridiculous. So I just had a folder where I just put shoes. It's always like trainers, mostly 90% of the time, Nike trainers. And on crime scenes where murders, mass shootings have happened. And I don't know about you, Sam, but the last time I was mass shooted, I didn't fall out of my shoes. I mean, it wasn't like when you get blown away by a shotgun that the shoes just whoop. That's in cartoons. What the hell were they doing there? And like you had the Dayton, Ohio shooting. That's a good one for you. Look at images from the Dayton, Ohio shooting. Okay, so there's a parking lot where there's 42 trainers lying in a pile. And then a cordon of, like police crime scene strip, plastic strip, saying, this is a mass murder. And I'm looking at it. No, it's a pile of shoes. And by the way, could you please explain to me how they ended up there? Because, I mean, when he was shooting, were people just, check it out.
What is that?
Tell me.
I don't know what the fuck that is, dude.
Please explain to me. And look at the enlargement down to the left there. Down to the left. Okay, so what angle did he manage to get the yellow plastic cordon off that thing and the shoes? He would have had to be lying down. Check all of the variations of shoes here. This is just one of 1,000 of these ones. Then you got the Las Vegas shooting. What was the symbol of the Las Vegas shooting? What did New York Times have on the page 1 of the mass shooting? They had a shoe and a pile of blood. what was the symbol of the Las Vegas shooting? It was a boot with the American flag on it, you know? So I started, the more I looked into it, I was like, what the hell is this? And then I found out that, yeah, that's the one for the New York Times in the middle.
Wow.
That's the Las Vegas one with the, you see
Like,
the
what
flag?
are they saying? So, I mean, it's like, what? What, did someone lay them down, then they take a picture? Are they trying to say that naturally occurred?
Why would he take his boots off and then just?
No, Xavi, that's what I'm saying. Have a look at
Why
the
wouldn't you just
shoes.
run with the boots? Wouldn't you just feel safer with the boots on?
Well, you know how it is when there's a shooting. You want to make sure it's like diving into a pool. You want to take your clothes off first. And then, I mean,
That's it.
No sense.
If you look, that is not just a shoe. Somebody has almost been lying down on his, lying down on his belly button to take these photos. But when you start looking into the shoes, you will find them in the thousands. I kid you not. I did a show. I've done multiple interviews about this. It's called The Soulless Shoes of Death, because they're always connected to death, and it's almost always Nike. That company, Nike, I tell you, that is something bizarre going on in that one. So anyway,
Oli, have you ever heard that the Nike swoosh is the ring of Saturn? Saturn wears
of course,
black cube of Saturn. Like, that's dark arts occults right there.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, so what I did was I started looking into these shoes, because I thought this is very odd, because how did they end? I mean, when we had the Queen's Day massacre in Holland, where there were rubber boots. I'm telling you, normally rubber boots is like you need two people to take them off. How? And who would bring a rubber boot to a parade? I mean, you have to ask yourself, and the TV reporter from that incident said, we see people walking around in slippers, and like, slippers, the Queen just, but the wording of the shoes, you will also see in many of the articles from these shootings, man, whatever shooting, I'll tell you, look in the text. They said people ran out of their shoes. They were so afraid that they ran out of their shoes. What? But look in what? But I'm telling you, and check out my my presentation, the Soulless Shoes of Death. I have like a PowerPoint presentation. It is in the hundreds. And then I found a really, really good one that really showed that one. I clicked it. Do you know which website it took me to? That was after like looking into this for so many hours. It took me to the website of the CIA. I kid you not. They are leaving it in your face. They're showing it in the face. And by the way, Associated Press, Reuters, and Getty Images are all connected to these forces. Reuters.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's Rothschild controlled. So it's not a coincidence. And I even have from the Hanau shooting in Germany and the truck attack in Stockholm, where they're in the background, you can see of some video shoot, you can see one of the forensic people in a white outfit, plastic outfit, is placing the shoe, taking a photo, taking the shoe and going to the next place, putting down the shoe and taking another photo. That's how it's done. It's not by coincidence. So the shoes are just, I mean, we have it from the Korean War, the shoes are there, big piles of shoes. We have the Balkan War, massive piles of shoes. We have the 6-Day War, where out in the desert, I kid you not, there are all these boots lying in the desert of, they say, Egyptian soldiers that escaped. I don't know about you. I think you've been to Las Vegas and these type of desert area places. Go out, take off your shoes. I tell you, within 2 seconds, you will put them back on, because you will get your feet fried. So why would they escape by throwing their boots there? You got the expression, our boots on the ground as well. It's like so ingrained. Anyway, so these shoes there, I did a show with CIA whistleblower Cody Snodgrass, and he added it's not, there's a Freemasonic whole symbolism part of these shoes things. One shoe off shows that the alleged victim, whoever is not missing a shoe, one shoe off means that they're taking part of this ritual with free consent, that they're consenting to do it. That's one thing. Shoe off, it's the same with their own Freemasonic ritual. 2 shoes off means homage to the sacred space where this is carried out. So that was what I started to understand, because a Freemason contacted me saying this is actually what's going on. But then I did many shows with CIA whistleblower Cody Snodgrass, and he knows a lot about MK Ultra and the way that they break down people to be assets that can be controlled. But to be able to get a person in that state, you need to break them down so that they get multiple personalities, at least 2, and then you need a trigger that can trick them from one to the other. So the way they do it, they handpick people that are weak when it comes to hypnosis and these type of things, and then they break them down through torture or horrible things like gang rapes and whatever, trauma. And every time they get traumatized, they have the trigger in front of them. It can be a song like Mary Had a Little Lamb. It can be an upside down dolphin. God. It can, whatever it is, to trigger your mind. And then, because when the pain is too intense, that's when you or your soul is trying to get away from the pain, and boom, it creates a secondary personality. And so with the trigger, in the end, if they keep repeating this and the symbol is in front of them, in the end, they only need to show you the trigger, and boom, you go straight in. Ask a woman who's been raped on a lawn, the smell of grass can trigger her back. So here, what Cody suggested, and what I really think is true, is that for many years, every time we've been told about something that has to do with death, they add the shoe. So the shoe is placed in front, so that also I spoke to a psychologist, and he said that when we're obsessed with our own destruction. So we look at crime scenes, we look at people, accidents and stuff, like where people have died, and we're like, oh, I don't want to see, but yet I want to see. Look at the highways when there's been an accident. I mean, everybody slows down to get a glimpse of what they don't want to see, which they do want to see. And so, but this psychologist said to me that when you see something horrible that is connected to your own demise, your eyes will automatically search for something safe, something that you feel safe with. And in this case, the shoe. But the shoe will be connected to death. So you have like a double trigger, the death and boom, the death and boom, the death and boom. So nowadays, if you go back to Google Images and you just say like drive-by shooting shoe, you will have like all of these nightclub shooting, all of these things. What will be? The photo will be of a shoe. Only a shoe. That's it. This murder happened, a triple there, like a Baptist church, whatever, chopped the head of 4 children. Okay, what is it? What is the image? A lot of police cars and a shoe. But it would be like a baby shoe, so you get the emotions going even more.
Yes.
And then they will add the color code, so you will have purple or you will have magenta shoes here. So these ones are good. Yes, but what I wanted to, I'm sorry if I ran on.
No, it's great. I love it.
Okay.
Go.
So over the years, I made, I don't know how many interviews about this. So these shoes have become more of a joke. Millions of people have heard these shows, and millions of people have become aware of them. So I'm getting from all over the world, people are sending me photos saying, check it out, check it out, check it out. You were right, you were right, you were right. And it's starting, you can also go to like the BBC News page. When something happens and they have a short clip about some incident and there's a shoe, see in the comments, people are saying, oh, come on. Really? Do you think we're buying this kind of crap? So people are really starting to get up to it. So a couple of years ago, in 2018, I think that they started feeling threatened because the trigger wasn't working anymore, because people were like, hello, they're waking up to it. They're waking up to it. So when you start laughing at something, that breaks the spell of fear. You cannot use that anymore. So if I'm correct, in 2018, they started making a transfer from the shoe to something else very familiar that could be used, a bicycle. So, and then in the beginning, they made like a transformation where they started using both. So you had the shoe and the bicycle to make your brain sort of like, okay, I get it. And then they had to add some publicity to it. So they had George Bush Sr., that's a bad boy, and bad boy, if you want to look into bad boys.
Real bad guy.
Oh my God. Boy George, joke. The senior one, horrible. Nice looking, nice voice, absolute monster when you look at his actions in that whole family. But anyway, so they needed to get publicity to the bike. So how did they do it? They had a drive-by shooting on a bicycle. The shooter was on a bicycle. The victim was George Bush Sr.'s cardiologist, Dr. Hausknecht, or they pronounce his name Hausknecht. They love these, I don't know, but there's always a twist to the name. So Dr. Hausknecht in 2018 was on his yellow bicycle, and he was driving in his whole operation outfit. Normally you're not dressed in like that. But anyway, he's on the parking lot, and a drive-by shooter on another bicycle drives up, turns around, shoots him twice, then takes off. And then the police observes him. They think that he might be spraying graffiti. So he escapes from there, dropping his driver's license. That was lucky. And then commits suicide. Oh, how lucky was that? So game over. But that was 2018. Okay, so you had that. Then you started adding also with the missing boys and the Thai boys and the cave. Did you see that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That whole thing. What they also started more or less at the same time was that I think Hollywood was running out of ideas to movies. So they love these things based on a real story, based on a real event. Yeah. So what they started to do is they started to make movies on false flags. The first one was Clint Eastwood. I really used to love him when he did like $1 Million Baby. Now it's like, what the hell, Clint? What are you doing? Like the 913 train to Paris.
Yeah.
That was a false flag. So even the crisis actors that are in the false flag are playing themselves in the movie.
Oh my God, is that true?
There, yeah.
Oh my God, they think we're stupid.
No, we are stupid, son.
We are stupid.
Yeah. So, we're innocent and easily led astray. Anyway, so the Thai boys, that whole thing was a setup. It was a staged event. And they were even saying while it happened, they said, oh my God, this will make a fantastic movie. Oh my God, it's almost like watching a movie. Oh my God, somebody should make a film script. No, the script was there. And what was the images? It was a Nike football shoe and a bicycle behind it. That was the one that was being spread everywhere. The boys were drugged down. They weren't even Thai boys. They were brought in. I mean, the whole thing stayed pumped up. So the bicycles. And so recently, what happened? Well, Joe Biden just fell off a bicycle. Yeah. And that whole thing made headlines everywhere. Shouldn't even, I mean, who would care if I fell over on a bicycle? But here, that gave, I don't know if you noticed, it gave headlines because there's a lot of shootings connected at the moment, or terror attacks. No, not terror attacks, shootings. All of them are shootings, but they are labeled terror attacks. In Denmark, in Norway, in Sweden. What else have we got? It's especially Scandinavia at the time, Germany also. So the bicycle, the transfer of the bicycle is going like this. And so in Norway, when it happened recently, all of these are NATO countries, by the way. Sweden is not. Yes, it is. It took part of NATO in 1954, but they have not signed the papers officially. So it's still trying to push Sweden.
They still haven't since 1954.
No, they went. People don't know that Sweden joined NATO in 1954, but not officially. It's been part of NATO since 1954, but still not. So they're trying to push neutral Sweden into NATO. Sweden is a super interesting place because it's a testing ground and it's also the home of the deep state. There's one family in Sweden called Wallenberg, the Wallenberg. That is a major part of the deep state, a major part, I believe, of BlackRock and Vanguard. They are, if not the ones, they are but they have a motto called Esse non vedere, to rule without visibility. And that's exactly what they do, I tell you. They control so many companies. They control the internet. They control the electricity in 184 countries. They control the infrastructure, the mining, they're unbelievable power behind the scenes, and nobody knows about them. So Wallenberg, Wallen, Berg, these ones, they look really nice. I tell you, oh my God, when you start looking into they own NASDAQ, they own, all of these, it's not that they only control them, they own them.
What are they called? The Wahlbergs?
Wallenberg, yeah. They've been on the steering committee in the Bilderberg Group forever. They're in the background. When you look at so many events in the world, there would be a Swede. But Sweden is so nice and so neutral and such a beautiful place. My God, the nature, if you go there not during the winter, it's beautiful. Yes, and the women are really sexy and beautiful. They have that nice topping, but behind the scenes, there's this ruling family. I grew up there. And now my internet is starting to shut down. It has this tendency when I start talking about them. But
really,
yeah. When you really start looking into how much they control, and how they even their logo. They own the company that owns the BBC and many other media, and it's this. They've got a very similar, the 3 red stripes, as the Joe Biden campaign, the 3 red stripes as well. Do you know, it's like, you will see it, the layers. Anyway, so now we know that you have to look upon it from a higher point of view, NATO, and NATO, yeah, with different agencies that are working together, just like Peter Power in London, who is connected to MI6, but he had a red sign saying CIA, we're bugging out of here now. It's in our face. The Mossad, the CIA, the MI6, these are on a street level, disconnected. On a higher level, totally connected. All of them are using the internet for surveillance. The internet structure, the basic structure, through the telecommunications, through the Ericsson is a company owned by the Wallenberg, and the whole structure, indirectly, these different intelligence agencies are paying for the services of the structure of the internet, Wallenberg. And then you have Cold War, Operation Cold Winter. Oh, the electricity in Texas doesn't work. Oh, the electricity doesn't work here. How is that? 184 countries, they control the electric system. It's not a matter of cold winter in Texas. Oh, the infrastructure is not stable. Bullshit. It's perfect. But somebody on, off. It's getting pretty cold in Houston. And boom, there you go. It's unstable. You need protection, don't you? That's how they do it. And then they just swap, and they control mining. It's unbelievable. I'm going to come back about the Wallenberg one of these days.
Yeah, let's do something on them for sure, man, for sure. So real quick, because I know we don't have you forever. Ukraine, what are your thoughts on, so Jimmy Dore, who I love, just did a big show on the Ukraine and how basically the Ukraine has fallen. It's done, Donbass or whatever the area is called. They've lost that. It's over. And what are your whole thoughts on the Ukraine? Khazarians, deep state, money laundering, sex trafficking. What are your thoughts on the Ukraine?
Okay, I've got another 45 minutes just so you don't no stress. The Ukraine, I found clues about Kazakhstan in November at 2 absolute low-budget crap false flags in Norway. But the clue was pointing towards Kazakhstan. I said, I have no idea why Kazakhstan is pointing that way. You can go to my newsletter. I pointed out all of these 64 that I confirmed in my newsletter. This is when I pointed it out. That's when it happened. This is when I pointed out the Capitol Hill shooting. That's when it happened. This is when I pointed. That's when it happened. So it's not just me bullshitting. Okay, so the Kazakhstan was first, and then in December last year, I pointed out Ukraine. I said I don't know, but it's pointing towards Ukraine. At that time, nothing was pointing towards Ukraine, but these NATO operations in Norway pointed, saying we're gonna nail them now. Then you had Boris Johnson, who went to Ukraine and for the first time ever had a green tie. We were talking about these signals, the signals being sent out. The green color, I mean, green is for go. So whatever that, I think he signaled, yes, we're going now. Just the way that Matthew McConaughey was now in the White House after the Uvalde shooting, showing the shoe of one of the victims, the alleged victim at this. So it was a green color shoe.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And he was doing the whole duping delight. Oh, he couldn't hardly stop laughing. I mean, shame on you, Matthew. What the hell? You're a great actor. Don't sell out like that. Come on. Anyway, so, and the shoe was the only way to identify the victim. Really? Was she blown to smithereens? You know, was there nothing left to protect the shoes? No. And if it was the shoes of this dead girl, do you think, would it be right for your wife to walk around in them? But yet again, the green color. Okay. So there's these green coded colors. And I know I jumped from topics, but I'm actually talking about the same thing. Also, Uvalde is another, just like Sandy Hook, a community where all of it seems to be controlled, and also where massive amounts of money are now funneling in to these things. And the school, by the way, was closed for at least a year before the shooting. The whole thing, stage. You talk about the Ukraine war. Okay, so I would say, have you seen a film called Wag the Dog?
Yes.
That's it. The Wag the Dog is telling us how they do it. Wag the Dog, it should be shown in public schools on how these things are carried out. If the story is short, that it was right when Bill Clinton was going to have, it was right before the Monica Lewinsky incident. Okay, so in that movie we have the president that looks quite a lot like Bill Clinton. He couldn't keep his fingers away from a young woman that was working in the White House, and he was doing stuff he shouldn't do. So a big scandal was about to erupt. This was just a few weeks before the election, so major problem for the White House. So what to do? So they call in this fixer, Robert De Niro, who comes in, very discreet, anonymous type of guy, who comes in and he says, okay, damage control. We need to, first of all, damage control, get the president the hell out of here. And then in the meantime, send him to China, something like that, say that he's sick. And in the meantime, we need a massive distraction. Let's start a war on Albania. And they're like, what? The White House is like, what are you saying? I mean, we have no problem with Albania. No, and he said, that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what we tell them and what media believes. Don't worry about reality. So what they do is, the way they do it is that he sets up an urgent press conference in the White House, where the press conference, and check out the similarities with the Ukraine war, where the press secretary, or whatever his title is, he comes out and says, thank you so much, international press, for gathering so fast. We just want to say there's absolutely no truth to the rumors about any aggression from Albania towards the US. There's absolutely no truth. It's only rumors about any building up conflict between these different nations. And by the way, the rumors about the new B-3 bomber are just rumors. That's just what we want to say. So the journalists are like, what? Is there a conflict with Albania? No, I just told you there is no truth to anything that has to do with Albania. Don't believe it. But what about the B-3 bomber? There is no B-3 bomber. But what they did was they activated the Army, the Navy, the whatever, the Air Force, just put them on high alert. Nothing is happening. So the journalists are starting to check out, what the hell? Something must be going on, because I mean, no fire without a smoke, and the army has activated this. So they start writing about a war. Albania, nobody even in the US don't even have any idea where it is. It was the poorest country in Europe that was trying to make, mess with the US. I don't think so. But anyway, nobody is listening to Ceausescu or whatever, because he's saying, oh, we didn't do anything. Who cares? It's what media says. So they pump this whole thing up, a war that doesn't exist. But that can only go on for so long if you don't keep it pumped up. So Robert De Niro gets hold of Dustin Hoffman, who's a very famous Hollywood producer, and he says, we need to make this real. So they go in, green screen, photo, and all kinds of things. They make film sets, where they have all of these things that look like war zones. They add kittens and things to get the emotions on small girls running around being raped, and add the sound. And the whole nation is gathered, joined together in this war against Albania. We have to stand up. There is no war, but it unites the war. And what is used in that movie as well? The shoe. Woody Harrelson is the hero, and he's called, they handpick him because his name is Schumacher or something like that. It needs to be connected to shoe. Once again, they show us the trigger there. And so they have Willie Nelson come in and make a song that is called The Old Shoe. They make it sound like it was made in the 30s. Oh, the old shoe. And the whole country is joining up against them, not looking at the scandal, at the whole thing with Monica Lewinsky. And it is a diversion. So I just want to point out that this movie, that when you look at it, you would think, oh, it's based on the Monica Lewinsky event. It was released 1 month before the Monica Lewinsky event. What does that tell you? That tells you that they have to show it. A movie like that is not made overnight. That is a lot of work that is put into that. But it's based on Monica Lewinsky. Exactly. So Monica Lewinsky, in my world, is a psyop. It was a psyop, the whole thing, a diversion for international media to look at the White House. Did he or did he not? Did he or did he not? What they did at the same time, they sent 75 missiles to Sudan, blowing up all kinds of chemistry factories and stuff like that, while people were, did she give him a blowjob or did she not?
Yeah.
That's how, okay. And 3 times in 1 year, they did exactly that. When there was about to be hearings, or if he was going to be taken to court, they hit Iraq, I think. And the third one was in the Balkan War, all within 1 year. And media was like, my God, it's exactly like in the movies. Yes, it is. So here we have the Ukraine. Back to the war. Because also there's been a silent war, or an invisible war against Bitcoin, I believe. Did we talk about that in the last show?
No, we didn't. Well, we're going through it right now.
Sam just got so excited when you said that.
I did. Hold on. Before we get into this, I just want to say a great example of what you're talking about also is the CIA got busted paying a British PR company $500 million to make ISIS beheading videos. Yeah. And they were busted by that because someone at the PR firm, and I guarantee you this person, it probably isn't alive right now, came out and said that they got paid. So all those traumatic videos that were like, everyone's like, can you believe they're beheading all these journalists? And I'm not saying the one guy that died didn't die, but I'm just saying that a lot of these videos came out were actually propaganda videos.
Okay, so I'm saying no people died at all. And there was a lot of green screen going on, and thank God that people like you woke up as well. Some of it was even filmed in Nevada, in the desert of Nevada, when ISIS, all of these things. If you notice, when you see ISIS, which is a creation of the US State Department, by the way, the Mossad, and also ISIS stands for Israel's Secret Security Intelligence. In the phone book, if you go to Israel. Anyway, they're even talking about it. But anyway, ISIS, they were, when you look at the images, there will all, if there's a vehicle, it will always be a Toyota. Always. That's it. Boom. And I had people contact the US government saying, how on earth, why are you, people contacted Toyota saying, why on earth are you selling all of these cars to the worst threat humanity has ever seen? And Toyota said, we have sold no cars to them. All of them are sold to the US State Department. Thank you so much. And here I tell you, if you find any images of ISIS and it's not a Toyota, I mean, you can almost chop my hand off. Even they got, Toyota has a model called ISIS even, but some of them, like the one like that, if you go to the scroll down a little bit, there was one to the right there. There's one image you will never see when it's about ISIS. You will never see anything in the background that is a giveaway of where they are. Where are they? Are there any like churches or mosques or anything that would give you a clue of where they are? They're always in desert areas. And if they pray, they're praying in all different directions instead of all of them towards Mecca. I mean, these are private contractors most of the time, have no idea. And like one of the images was, there was this pickup truck with a massive big machine gun on the back, and they were standing bum, 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 bum. Well, you could see underneath the painting of the door on the front seat, you could see there was the logo of a Texas oil mining company. So we pointed that out, and this poor guy, the owner of this company, was just hammered with emails like, how the hell? And he said, I have no idea how that ended up down in the Middle East. Well, it didn't, because it was filmed in Arizona, or ISIS even had headquarters in Arizona. I have photos of their company.
About that one right there, Mark 1 Plumbing.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one. Yeah.
That's so nuts, dude. It's so
they shipped it out there. So you're telling me they shipped it out there all the way because the Toyota's that great? It's such a great. That's a Ford, isn't it? Yeah, that's a Ford.
It's like. That photo in my world is taken in Arizona, somewhere there. You don't see any background. All of this, we're being fooled. Once again, it's a matter of deception. They're tricking us. They're tricking us. Okay, so back to, I keep losing track here. Back to the Ukraine.
That's
so please keep Wag the Dog in mind. So here we had, if I can go back to Bitcoin first. Okay, so Bitcoin, if it is what we hope it is freedom for humanity. If it's a setup, it could very well be an ambush as well, set up by them to make us used to a one world currency and then hijack, because that is a wet dream of the New World Order for many, many years. So anyway, so Bitcoin, I think is getting cred here because it's being under attack. It started in on the 4th or 5th of June last year. There was the biggest Bitcoin conference in Miami ever, and it was really well. There was about 12,000 attendees, and it was a super, super success. At that meeting, there were 3 or 4 countries that said, we're going to make this legal tender. We're going to take this step all the way. It was El Salvador, it was Paraguay, it was the Ukraine, and it was, which one was the last one? Sorry, I forgot. But anyway, so let me see if I got it right.
Caicos?
No, so El Salvador was the ones that went up the biggest, and Paraguay followed right away, because it's the third world countries that have the most to win to get out of the grip of the Federal Reserve banking system.
Was it Panama?
Panama, thank you. So all of these smaller countries have in Latin America have the most to gain there. So that was on the 4th or 5th of June last year, 2021. And so when something like that happens, you will have a backlash. Somebody will try to stop it if they really want to go. So what happened was that just a week or so later, we had the Miami building collapse. Do you remember that one? the building that just fell straight down, which was controlled demolition. I've even got the video footage on where you can see boom, 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 and part of the building just collapses. And then you have the same, just like on 9/11, all of these trucks coming there and transporting away all evidence away from it, so nobody could find any kind of explosives or whatever left. But among the alleged victims was the family of the the sister-in-law, I believe, of the Paraguayan president. Her and her family was killed in that blast. So after that, Paraguay pulled back. I think, could it be connected? You also have John McAfee, who said that he had a hard drive with a lot of that could bring down the U.S. government. He said, if you can believe that the tweet, that the hard drive was somewhere very close to that building. And as far as I know, he had an apartment in that building as well. So that could be part, because he was also arrested and taken to a Spanish prison where he committed suicide. They say his body has still not been released, and it's the prison is very close to Barcelona. And Barcelona, the police in Barcelona go once a year to Israel and are trained by Mossad. They're very, very hard guys. They're called Mossos, not Mossad, the police in Barcelona. But this is the area that is where Israel had a very strong influence in Catalonia. I don't think that it was a coincidence that he was taken to a prison there, where I would not be surprised if he's still alive, that he's been somehow, I think he's still alive. That's why his body has not been given out or anything like his suicide letter, absolute bullshit. But all of
like
that
Jeffrey Epstein?
I think he's alive as well, yeah. So anyway, no, but Anyway, so that happened. His suicide, all of that happened more or less at the same time as the building came down. Boom. So Paraguay pulled out, but El Salvador said, no, we're going to go for it. So it was on the 8th of September or something like that, 2021, El Salvador said, we're going to be the first one. Boom. And they made Bitcoin legal tender, which was a massive step forward. So that also inspired other countries. And then you had like a few months later, Kazakhstan was number 8 in the world when it came to Bitcoin mining. And then they were hit. And one of the first things they did when they went in, when the whole uprising and stuff, it's so easy to create an uprising. You just raise the prices to like triple of gas or food or whatever. People get pissed off. You got an uprising. So easy. You just turn it up and turn it off. So one of the first things they did, shut down the internet, Bitcoin mining. And this is when Bitcoin was starting to really drop when this happened. Another one of the major parties in the Bitcoin mining group was Ukraine, who had they were in the process of 2022 opening up a former nuclear power station as a Bitcoin mining center. Can you imagine the size of that, what they could have taken over? But unfortunately, this whole war came in between. But before that, we had the eruption on Tonga, which was a volcanic eruption. And it was like within 24 hours after Tonga said, we're going to be the second in the world, they're going to make Bitcoin legal tender, this tiny little island, this volcanic eruption happened where you can see on satellite images that some kind of missile comes down. And according to NASA,
I saw that video.
If you want to believe NASA, which I don't, but according to their measurements, the eruption was 500 times stronger than the explosion over Nagasaki. I mean, 500 times more than the atomic bomb over Nagasaki. That is unbelievable. And there were like, while this eruption was going on, there was 67,000 lightning strikes to the side of the volcano. 67,000. That was like, 87,000. It was like 167 strikes per minute to the volcano. Is that natural to you, or are we talking HARP or some kind of crap?
Oh my God.
So that, I would say, was telling other nations, back off, don't even think of it. Then Kazakhstan, and that happened more or less at the same time, and then came the Ukraine. And since I'd found leads pointing towards Ukraine, I said, I don't know why, but they're going to hit Ukraine. I have no idea. And then came the war in the Ukraine. So look at the war. One of the major groups you have to look at when it's trying to understand what's going on right now is the World Economic Forum, the 1%, with Anal Schwab, Klaus Anal Schwab. I mean, he's Dr. Evil. It's only the white cat that is missing. I mean, I think they made Mr. Evil from his look. But anyway, so he says, we're going to take everything and you're going to be so happy without owning anything. Very kind person, I think. Maybe live by example. You give up everything you own, give it back to us that you robbed it from, and let's see how happy you are. But anyway, so Klaus Anal Schwab, he, also in the early 90s, when they started the whole Agenda 21, when Bush down in South America at the UNCED conference down there started the whole Agenda 21 maneuver, there was also the creation of what was called Young Global Leaders. And so the Young Global Leaders were almost like a Bilderberg group, or a future leaders, good-looking young people with good bloodlines, handpicked for future operations. So in this whole group, you had people that have been extremely successful afterwards, like the co-founder of Google, Facebook, Zuckerberg. You got royalties that are now involved, like in the mass shootings in Norway. Here we have again the same people turning up. You have Jacinta, New Zealand, the man with the big teeth, woman. You had Trudeau, you had Putin, you had Virgin, what's his name? Richard Branson, Bono from U2. You have many of these people that we now see in key positions, like the founder of Avas, the founder of so many of these ones have been like, there's like a 5-year education or indoctrination in this group for future operations. And so Putin is said to have been there in 92, which is interesting. I also heard an interview with an MI6 agent who said that this is years ago, he said when he was educated or being trained in the UK as an MI6, one of the other agents that was training there was Vladimir Putin. But there again, you say, oh, he was KGB and MI6. It's on a street on the top. They're not disconnected. This is the confusing thing. It's a world elite. And at the top of the pyramid, by the way, the pyramid is turned upside down. They worship the guy with the horns down there. We are the ones. So it's not the top of the pyramid. It's absolutely the bottom of human quality that is collected there.
So if you think the Ukraine has wagged the dog, and I know we're going to get more into that. Do you think Putin is a part of that charade?
And then we have Zelensky, who's another graduate from he graduated in 2000. So we have these opponents that are actually we're enemies. Are you really? I'm confused when it comes to Putin, because I think sometimes you have people that are prepared and trained and so on, and then when they get into power of position, when that power is big enough, they give the finger to their employer and say, fuck you, I'm taking over from now on. Either that or he's a puppet. So I don't know which one. But if you look at what's been going on through COVID, there's been a financial deconstruction of the US, one of the superpowers. During these 2 years, I'm being told that the US does not look anything like it used to do. Financially, it's just cracking down the whole system. Now, superpower number 2, what used to be, Russia. So how can you get to Russia? You have to demonize them. You have to demonize them to get the global population to say, yes, fuck them, bomb the shit out of them, destroy them, whatever. So how do you do that? You make them look really bad. So how can they look really bad? They invade a country absolutely innocent. But what happened when this whole thing started, and it was that war, I stopped following it after a few weeks because in the beginning, it was wag the dog once again on steroids. They were using images, fake images, even from computer games, Armor 3, from recycling. They were like from a gun show in Texas. They were from, and these were like, I mean, like CNN, Reuters using these images. These people,
are they dumb or is it purposeful? Nonlinear warfare. So people like you and me, more you, because you're much better than I am, but that we will go, oh man, look at this, they're using computer games, and then now look, bam, we're fighting over, is it real, is it not real, is it that, blah 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 blah.
I mean, Armor 3 even sued them. So it's not just me saying stuff.
No.
I don't know. I think it's a combo because they're putting it out there. They need to show us. And the bigger the operation, the more they need to show us. Like 9/11, there were hundreds of clues saying it's going to happen. It's going to happen there. It's exactly like it's going to happen. And boom, then it happened. And we're like, I had no idea. No, because we were asleep.
It also happened during COVID. Do you remember those people that were getting the jab in the middle of summer with coats on? And you're like, who would be wearing the coats in the middle of the jab? And there was investigating how it was nobody's in line getting the jab.
Oh, yeah. It's all manufacturing. It's all manufacturing manifestation.
It's important not to say all. We have to to take it apart and say that was maybe real and that is definitely not real. It's so easy to jump to conclusion, but here, like, so in the beginning, when it was very, suddenly they said, okay, now Putin for no reason is going to invade and destroy the Ukraine. Okay, the Ukraine used to belong to Russia, and they had a good relationship as far as I know. At the same time, the Ukraine is a very interesting place with the Khazar mafia, the roots of that. It was called the breadbasket of Europe during the Second World War. It's got all kinds of connection to the Wallenberg family, Ericsson, big scandal in the Ukraine. There are all of these things. And then when you see what happened, it was exactly like Mike the Dog. This is happening right now. Okay, so they said, now we're bombing the crap out of Kiev. Fair enough. I went straight to websites where you can see like live footage from CCTV cameras on squares and public places in cities all over the world. I was looking at these ones. There was nothing. There was a car driving around. I looked at the news. There were bombs going on everywhere. It's like, what the hell is going on? And then there were two British guys who went there independently of each other, just saying, I'm just going to go and check out what's going on because I'm confused. And people, no, you can't go in there. It's horrible. It's horrible. One of them flew to Poland, I think, and then took the train. And they say, no, you can't. Well, he did anyway. He came to one of the cities in the Western Ukraine, and there was absolutely nothing happening except in the train station. There was one train station where all the global media was there. And in the train station, they packed people in there, pushing them in. They were doing all outside the train station. Nothing at all. And he was like, what the hell? And then he was walking around and there were like certain areas that run down, demolished houses. And there were like cars that looked totally messed up. And you look to the left, nothing, traffic is not normal. But what did they do with the Ukraine? They shut down the internet so that we could not connect them and the phone system. We could not connect them. They could not phone out and say, fuck all is going on here. Are you aware that you're actually at war? What? You could not have that. So you had things happening, but it happened around the border, so close to where people are looking in. Oh my God, there's some smoke over there. Then when they actually went in there, it was just an ordinary day. Everything, the supermarkets were full, people were getting on with life, no life. But then it seems like there were actually things happening as well. But what people that had been attacked were talking about was that we were being attacked by the Ukrainian forces, not Russian forces. The Russians are here to try and help us with food and stuff like. So you look at the images, okay, blown up tanks and stuff like that, where Russian tanks had been blown up. What kind of tanks? They're from the 70s. They're like crap, like pull it in, tow it in, turn it on fire. And inside it, what did you find? A Russian uniform. How many Russian soldiers bring a pair of extra pants and shirt, inside a tank? Do you know how tight it is there? Why would you bring some extra pair of pants? No, it's really good because, it's the Russians. And then some cans with Russian text and pointing, it's very, they couldn't leave a Russian passport. They would have loved to, but they did it like that instead. But the people said it was the Ukrainian. It was the Ukrainian. Or when you see also, you are in a city and suddenly there are like missiles coming in. What the hell is going on? What do? You turn on the radio. So whoever controls the radio can say, it's them. It's them. You're not there. And if you look and you see, okay, I see them, what do you look at? You look at the uniforms. So where did ISIS go? ISIS were located, many of them private operators and companies, contractors.
Mercenaries.
Yeah, mercenaries. And they even said that many ISIS warriors relocated to help in the war. No. I think these private contractors were flown. It's like a one hour flight from where they were. They were unemployed during the whole COVID thing, bored to tears, and now flown in here, and suddenly they could do atrocities again. So. And then you have Zelensky also. Zelensky, when you look at it, it's unbelievable. This guy, who is he? He was a young global leader. That's where he was. Then he's a stand-up. He's a stand-up comedian. Yeah. He had his own show where he was playing, it was called Servant of the People, where he was just an ordinary guy that ended up as the president of Ukraine. And he was standing up against corruption and all of these things, being stupid and naive, and became a hero of the people for real as an actor, because, oh my God, look at this guy. So the production company that was owned by an oil oligarch or whatever they're called, and the production company, it was called Caput 95, something like that. They funded the creation of a political party called Servant of the People, exactly like the show. And he was elected. He had never done 1 hour as a politician. And he was elected, whatever, if you want to believe the elections. And these voting machines that are used nowadays are directly connected to the Wallenberg, or the Dominion system, Wallenberg, this family again. Anyway, so suddenly, he was the president. And boom, in came through that comedy show, he was the president of that. And then suddenly you have two opponents, Putin and him, possibly under the control of Mr. Anal Schwab. So here you have what happened? Russia invaded. The whole of the West said, that's really bad, Putin. You are a naughty boy. So what they do, through the World Economic Forum, all of these companies pulled out of Russia at the exact same time, pulling down the rug from the Russian finances. The whole financial system was at risk because all of them, like a military operation, just moved out and instead pumped in weapons into the Ukraine on an unbelievable scale. And Sweden, being neutral, was throwing in all kinds of weapons, like anti-rocket launcher, I don't know what they're called. Sweden neutral, really, this is what you can get. Unbelievable. And then we had all of these biolabs that they said, oh, look at them, these biolabs are there. Turns out that no, they were US controlled, if it's true. So anyway, where did they go? They were transported, they were moved to Sweden. To Sweden. These bioweapon labs are now in Sweden. And who funded it? The Wallenberg family. The move, so that now they're safe, and in a country that really cares about the rest of the world. So now we can relax. I don't think so. So,
Swedes are shady. So, just on a personal level, I used to I still do stand-up. I was in Portland, and there was a time during the George Floyd chaos that Portland looked like it was on fire. And like I was just getting set into all these crazy areas because I was one of the few comics that wasn't afraid of COVID and said, let's do it. So I go to Portland, and the local comics are my friends, and they're like, hey, dude. I go, so have you seen these riots? And they're like, we haven't seen anything. I go, nothing? He goes, nothing. So we drive around and we pull into this park, this tiny park, and we walk up, and that's where everything is. But the way it's shot, it looks like all of Portland's burning, and it's just this tiny little park with about 100 people causing chaos. But they shoot it like it's everywhere and everyone's going nuts. I'm literally having coffee with this dude I know the next day, like nothing's going on. But you would think Portland was on fire the way the news made it seem. All manipulation, man. All manipulation. And a lot of the Ukraine or the psyop of the Ukraine is money laundering to buy weapons from the military industrial complex that they want to get rid of so they can restock their old weapons and get the U.S. government to buy the old weapons. So they're sending the Ukraine all these old weapons that they couldn't get rid of, that they're like, it's like, everything's got to go. We're going crazy here at Raytheon. All these rocket launchers got to go. And that's what they're doing. It's all a giant money laundering thing. And I wouldn't doubt if a lot of the money was sent to the DNC to help them with their upcoming elections, because nobody's giving them money to prop up the second wing of the same bird that is the DNC, the Democratic Party. So, yeah, I believe in all of it.
But Sam, what you just did, this is what I try to do and encourage people to do. Go and see for yourself. Because the thing is, this is what we're being told. You look at the screen, it looks like that. Go there. And over and over and over and over again, I get reports. There's nothing here. Like the empty hospitals.
Exactly.
Like whatever you see, it's just, I was part of starting that whole go film your hospital hashtag thing. We got from all over the world. There's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. And with these riots, look at it, just like we're looking at propaganda, like film staged events that are just like you have connections in Hollywood, I'm sure. How do they shoot a film? How do they shoot this? It's the same. It is the same. It's even the same crew many times that are being transported. I call them global tour of terror from NATO countries being toured around. Many times, if they're big operations, they're being transported in C-130 aircraft, military aircraft, being flown into air bases after dark, NATO or American US Air Force bases, and then being transported in buses on location where they have the drill. And then the day or so after, boom, they go live.
I mean, by the way, the same thing with January 6th. I don't know if you remember, a lot of people said it was very peaceful. People were cleaning up. But what do you see when you watch CNN's picture of it? The worst, like it's chaos.
I predicted that 1 week before it happened. The clue was in the in the Memphis car bomb, where there were pointers straight to Capitol Hill. And I said I was on Michael Jaco for Navy SEAL Michael Jaco's show, and he was going there. And I said, please be aware, because the hidden clues are pointing towards Capitol Hill. So please be aware. I said that I had it in my newsletter on New Year's Eve, and then on the 6th of January, boom, it happened on Capitol Hill. That whole thing, absolutely controlled, staged, why they did it. I think a lot of anti-Trump. I'm not really sure why the real agenda behind many of these, but what we saw, that killing of that woman, wasn't even inside the White House, I believe. It was when you look at the whole way the stairs are coming up there, the people in the corridor. It's a film set. It's a film set. You see the SWAT team are in the wrong place. They're not, all of them are just extras. They don't know what to do. The whole thing is not right, but it's being pumped out as an event, just like George Floyd. That was a big operation on its own. It's totally not true. Totally not true. I just want to say, the Buffalo shooting, I call it the Buffalo bullshit shooting. That's more correct. That's a copycat of the Christchurch shooting in New Zealand. The Uvalde shooting, give me a break. It's more or less a copycat of the Sandy Hook thing. Now we have in Oslo, there was a gay pride shooting, they said there. Absolute bullshit. It was also, you will see that there are hundreds of images with bicycles. The bicycles are in the front. We were talking about the shoes over to the bicycles, but also they're starting to use mobile scooters. I don't know why that is, but like where old people drive around with these type of thing, they're starting to use those as well as baby cots. So they're amping up the emotions, like the poor old and the babies. Kittens is also coming in on stage here. We have some shooters that are torturing kittens, but that's the thing. That's the only thing that can get emotions going. Kittens and babies, boom, 6 million views for nothing. And then shows like this, 2,500. It's like, so now we have, then I'm jumping around a little, but I just want to connect these dots so people can become aware of them. There's a big house owner. He's one of the richest people in the world. His name is Olav Thon, Thon. He's a Zionist and really powerful guy in Norway. He, in the Brussels airport shooting and metro explosion in 2016, the whole thing that was carried out there at the metro station was right next to Thon Hotel. He's got their hotels in many different places. I think about 150 hotels in different areas. But anyway, among the crisis actors were people running around in yellow vests with Thon on the back. That was the first time I noticed him. Then around the mass shooting in Norway, this name kept popping up. And now with the gay shooting in Oslo, it's right in front of his hotel once again. And where they're using the big, the name of the hotel is in so many of the pictures with a gay flag in the foreground and a bicycle. And also he's the owner of that hotel. The club that is said to have been attacked was called the London Bar. So that could be a pointer towards London. London is one of these places they recycle the crap over and over again. And around the corner is the Bristol Hotel, also owned by the same guy. So that England could be pointing that way. So anyway, right after that happened, and the witnesses that was interviewed, all of them looks like former military guys, the people in the security business that are normally the ones carrying out these operations. So anyway, so right after that, we had a shooting in a supermarket in Denmark, not so far from the airport. And the people owning, the company owning that company has close business relationship with Olav Thon. Once again, an empty supermarket. It's completely empty. When you see the guy running around with the rifle, he's even shouting like 8 times, "It's not real. It's not real. It's not." That's what he's running around repeating. And then you had a stabbing now of she is the coordinating person in Sweden for psychiatric treatments. Okay, she was stabbed to death, they say, at there's in Sweden on an island called Gotland. Every year, there's for 1 week, politicians and normal people can mingle. And so many people come, that it's called Almedalsveckan. And right in the heart of this woman is being stabbed to death, they say. So here we have, with all of these shootings, they keep claiming mental illness. They keep claiming all of this. And at the Hill, what's the name of there was a mass shooting here as well. at the
Highland
4th
Park?
of Highland Park. Yeah, the Highland Park on the 4th of July. They love these dates as well when they do it. And one of the images that are being spread is like a cordon off area with yellow plastic tape, the police tape, but it's put in a knot so it looks like a yellow ribbon. And the yellow ribbon, it's right in the center. That's the only thing the image is showing. The yellow ribbon is for support of suicide victims or families. So here we have that, and then this happens with her, who's the coordinating person in Sweden, the one. I mean, and she is then assassinated at a square that is called Donner Square, and Donner is a very famous Finnish family in Sweden. So, and Finland is the next one. Also, that they're pushing with NATO, it's Sweden and NATO Sweden and Finland that they're pushing into NATO now. So within the next 24 hours, I expect there's going to be something hitting in Finland as well. Yeah, Finland and London. They're ramping it up. And then you had at the Highland Park, and do you know, we were talking about bicycles and the color code. Look, check it out. What are some of these images? You have a kid's bicycle that is purple and magenta. Check it out if you can find it here. Highland Park.
Yeah.
There it is. Can you see it there? There it is. You found it right away. But there's a close-up on that bicycle. But the one that is enlarged is down to the left. But there's a close-up where you can see that the bicycle.
Can't find it. Let me see.
No, but if you write
the
Highland Park
right
shoot
there on the other side, we're in the black. In the black, there we go.
Yeah, there's that one.
You had it.
Yeah,
it's okay. He's not. He's trying.
But here, can you see?
Try.
But if you go back to the one in the corner there, you got the SWAT team. But what have you got in front of it? You got baby cots. Then you got the bicycles.
Yeah.
Can you see the baby cots?
Yeah.
That one. See that photo? They won't click on that one. You got it's like just
there's
chairs.
all the shoes. Yeah.
And
there's the one. If you go over to the right or the left, go to the left. Nope, over down there. Click that one. There you go. Bam.
Yeah.
Open that one. Expand it.
But
there it is, man. There's the purple bike.
But there's another bike where it's enlarged, where you can see it even more.
Well, we're just gonna, there it is. Crazy.
But, so you will often see that it's sort of that they use the tape, so because that is in our subconscious crime scene, and then when you see something happen, what do you actually see? Most of the time, you just see fire brigade, police, ambulances, and people in uniform, and people running around in SWAT team uniforms. You don't see victims. You don't see anything. Even in the text of these events, they say, and people were running around with empty stretchers, And in the headlines, I also want to say that in the headlines, they put quotation signs around the thing that is not true, like Bishop beheaded 3 babies or something like that. Then beheaded will be with quotation sign. Notice these things, because I think maybe they're doing it to show us, but also so that they can't be sued afterwards.
I got you. Oli, you crushed it today. You came, you saw, you dropped the hammer to God. I love it. I can listen to you talk all day. I know you got a jam. You've already given us 2 hours when we were going to do an hour, and I'm so blown away that you would do that with us. So thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to us. Oli, can you tell our listeners where they can find you?
Well, not at dammegård.com, because that's not me. But you can go to dammegård.com or lightonconspiracies.com. And if you feel that this type of information is of value, then please support financially is the thing. We're being hit from right, left, and center. We were even shut down on Patreon because I did a recorded testimonial for the Corona Investigative Committee, 4 hours, and shebang, boof, I was shut down, where they said that patron said, if you don't take away these things on your website, not on the Patreon, but on your website, if you don't take away that, we will shut you down. And that was a major part of our income. So that was a rough one. So we're regrouping.
You're on Rockfin now, right?
Yeah, but I started uploading and then I was hit by all kinds of crap. So I'm gonna go back and try and get it, start uploading more stuff there. So yeah, thank you so much for helping me with Rockfin. But it's on standby at the moment.
We love you on the show. You're always welcome back anytime you want. So reach out whenever you're ready to talk again. We'll do it again. And so we really do thank you for that. Everybody, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. 2 great shows this week, 2 Crush Fest shows. Again, I'm going to be in New Jersey next weekend. Then I have Comedy Chaos in San Francisco in August. More dates coming that I could drive to, not to fly to, but we'll make it happen. Thank you guys so much. We love you very much. And have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hat.